Hello all, thank you for joining me as I will be reviewing the features of Prism. Prism is a daily organizer. It's an operating system, I call it. So it has actually changed my life for the past few weeks and months actually. So as you'll be given a link to come to Prism to use it. So this is the let's call it the page that you will actually land to, and then as a first-time user you will actually need to register. Click register, and then when you register it will require just your email address and your own password, secured password, and then you will need also an access code which will be provided by one of the Prism ambassadors. So once you've got that, let's just go in and then we can look at all the features that are happening inside. So the main page basically that you learn to, which I'll take you through everything that we have here. So I want to start off with, let me just remove my face here. Let's move my face slightly to the other side so that I can talk about the right hand side here. So if you look at the right hand side, it's got what we call the core compass, and the core compass is assisting you to actually build your vision, your mission. These are your personal vision and mission and your values, of course, and then you can put your affirmations. Some of the people will actually have affirmations that they read every day. You can put them here. These are my own personal affirmations, and then I also have principles on top of affirmations. So this is just, you click in there and then you can type. Basically it allows you to type and then you can set them on. So we call this the core compass. And by the way, you can actually allow the app as you wake up to read to you all these things, which I will do now for a few seconds. Let's go through it.
Vision: to empower organizations to achieve their full potential, resulting in improved economic development. Mission: I simplify solutions to complex challenges, unlocking market access and capital for manufacturing and growing enterprises. Values: curiosity, energy, service, and excellence. Affirmations: I am in control of my response to everything that happens to me. I am responsible for my own life and happiness. Responsibility is a privilege. My past does not define my future. I am constantly growing and improving. I attract opportunities by being prepared and staying alert. My education and personal development are my highest priorities. I choose to focus on solutions, not problems. I am building something meaningful with my life. I am grateful for the success I have achieved while working to have more. Today is an opportunity to become the person I am meant to be. Principles: my values are curiosity, energy, service, and excellence. I act with authenticity, honesty, and integrity. I seek first to understand before being understood. I am obsessed about solving customer problems quickly. I simplify solutions to complex challenges. My solutions assist my clients to be globally competitive. I achieve rapid growth by validating assumptions quickly and iteration over time. I challenge myself to continuously solve bigger problems. I leverage technology and innovation to be productive. My strategy execution follows a 5-step strategy of 5Cs: SWOT, shareholder value analysis, VMSO, strategic choices, and KPIs.
Right, so yeah, that was a sample just to show you in the morning after you've put your core compass, and actually you can allow it the system to read to you. And then of course when you start the app you'll be greeted by a quote of the day, which is what I will do now.
Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible, by Tony Robbins.
And these daily quotes, of course, they change every day, and normally when you actually start on the app, so please be careful. If you're in a meeting and you're opening up the app, it will actually read aloud to you, so just be cautious of that. So on the right hand side, as I said, it's a core compass where you actually put your long-term vision, which actually defines you, your principles. And we do encourage that all individuals, when you're serious about the project, which is you yourself, your personal goals, try to put as much as you can. And then I can move to the other side now. On the other side, we have what we we have a timeline on the left panel. So you've got smart goals, which I'll talk about, and then you've got the timeline that's happening here on the left. But we will just talk about that. Let's start with the smart goals. Smart goals is theoretically, when the year starts, this is where you can come and reflect and actually set your goals. So I've got some examples of the goals that I've put. So if you look at the smart goals here, it's because I've clicked exactly on this feature and then it told me smart goals. And then we actually at Prism, we encourage activities that are going on the particular domains of your life. So we've separated the domains into 4, which is business and career. We've got health and recreation. We've got social and spiritual. We've got personal finance. On business and career, everything that has to do with your personal development, your studies, your work, and business. All the activities, tasks, reflection will happen here. And then you've got health and fitness, and everything that has to do with tracking your health goals, going to the doctor, drinking water, swimming classes, even reading, by the way, because that's for recreation. If the reading that you're doing, it's not really for personal development, it's for fun, then it will come in here. And then you've got social and spiritual. This is where now you can ground yourself with all the activities and tracking of all the goals that have to do with your social circle, which is your family, friends. This has to do with your community services, with your religious activities that will come in here. Personal and finance, here we've actually allocated this for you to track and manage all the activities that have to do with your household, with your car, with your personal insurance. So if you want to fix a gutter that's leaking, you'll come to personal and finance. If you want to reduce some of the life insurance that you're trying to get a comparative quotes, you can put them here. So these are the examples that I've put here, and these are the annual goals. So it will happen at January or any time of the year when you say you are starting the year. So let's look at these examples that we've put here. Under business and career, we've got smart goals, new additional income of 500,000, and then we have new office with studio, and then we've got secure 10 times recurring customer contracts. So that's in business and career. These are just the examples that I've put for us just to discuss. And then on health and recreation, we have the weight of 76 kgs. That should be the target for the year, of course. And then reading 5 books in a year, swimming, perfectly swimming, and then join 1 times group activity. And then in the social and spiritual, the examples we've put there, healthy transformational relationship with my son. And then number 2, we've got strong relations with 2 times friends, and then strong relations with 2 times business partners. And then the personal and finance, we have reduced expenses by 40%. And then we have moved into a new home and pay off vehicle, Nissan. So something to note as well here, we don't encourage you putting too much of these goals, maybe more than 4 or 5. Maybe just put the key ones. You might have a lot of goals in a year, but here we encourage that you just put the key ones that are very important. It's for you to track. By the way, this is for the year. Now let's go to the month of May, the example. So every time you're looking at this feature here, you see this circle that tells you it's a goal. So if you click into that goal, now we are looking into the goal for the May 2026. This is a month. So every time you're lost, look at what has been highlighted here, or also look at the top here. It's written objectives for May. And then we say they define 3 to 4 key objectives each dimension and reflect. So we start by saying, what are the goals for business and career in the month of May 2026? We had complete the Q3 marketing strategy draft for the executive team, and then we had the finish module 4 for advanced data analytics online course, and then have 2 networking coffees with potential clients. Again, you might have quite a lot. You can put as much as you can, of course, there's no limit here, but we actually recommend that you just put a few. So if you've got a recurring goal, you can actually click on this feature here on the right hand side. If you look closely there is a small feature there. It's a circle. If I click on it, so that now tells me it's a recurring feature. In other words, it will recur on June, July onwards. You will see it again and again. You don't have to type it. And then there's a place that we put for reflection. There's people who are actually doing journaling already every day, and you're using a different tool, you're using a notebook, you're using a paper. So we've actually created a feature for you to do your journaling monthly reflection, because at the top, we are talking about the goals. And as you can see, if you've achieved the goal at the end of the month, you can actually click on it, and then it will just do a check mark just to show that you're finished with it. And then here you can use this area for journaling. And I will show you how it works also on the weekly and the daily part of this app. And then the same thing applies to health and recreation when it comes to monthly objectives. Here are the examples that we had. We said run a total of 60 kilometers this month to prepare for the spring 10K. And then we said read 2 complete fiction books to disconnect from screen, and then maintain an average water intake of 2.5 liters per day. So those were the monthly goals for under the health and recreation. And then let's look at the reflection. These are all examples, by the way. The reflection for that month, we said hit exactly 62 kilometers of running, feeling much stronger and lighter. I struggled with the reading goal, only finishing 1 book, as I found myself scrolling on the phone too much in the evenings. And then on the social and spiritual, for the monthly objective example that we put there, we said host a Sunday lunch for the extended family. And then we also have attend at least 2 community steering committee meetings, and then dedicate 15 minutes every morning to quiet meditation. So these are just giving you more examples as to what you can write as goals for your monthly sessions. And then the reflection there we had under the social and spiritual, we said the family lunch was a massive success and brought everyone together. I missed 1 community meeting due to a scheduled clash. So this, obviously, the reflection will happen at the end of the month because of you. It's you talking to the app. It's you talking to your channel about what has happened in the month. And then the last one, personal and finance for the month of May. We have these goals here. Just to give you an example, we had finalized the annual renewal for the car and home insurance, fix the leaking gutter on the north side of the house, transfer 10% of this month's income into emergency savings fund. So these are typical examples of your monthly goals under personal and finance. And then we have on the reflection, insurance is renewed and I managed to negotiate a lower premium. That is very good. Now we move. As you can see, again, I just want to remind you, if you feel like you're getting lost, just look at the top there. It's written objectives for me, or go and see what has been highlighted there. If you look at that orange, it's highlighted on the month of May. Now let's go to the week. So I will be clicking onto the week of April. So I've clicked now into the week. So it's week of April 26, 2026. Now you are now breaking down your objectives into manageable, let's call it smart goals that you can actually track closely. So we've got, for this week, we have draft sections 1 and 2 of the Q3 marketing strategy. So this is now breaking down your monthly goal. And then it says, watch the first 3 video lectures of module 4 and email Sarah to set up a networking coffee for next Tuesday. So these are the examples. Again, just to remind you, on the right hand side, you want to delete a goal, you can actually do the cross, or actually you can do a recurring. As I said before, this sign tells you that it's a recurring, it will recur on every week. You don't have to type it again. Let's look at the example of the reflection on business and career. We had a really productive week, got through the strategy draft faster than expected. Sarah agreed to coffee next week, struggled to find the time for video lectures, only watched 1. So this is an example. So same thing with the creation. You will also look at the beginning of the week, whether it's for you, it's a Sunday or Monday. You put, let's look at the example that we put here. We have complete 2 5-kilometer runs and 1 8-kilometer long run. Read chapters 1 to 5 of the new sci-fi novel. And by the way, why this reading of a sci-fi novel is here under health and recreation, not under the business and careers, because it's not for personal development, it's just for fun. And then you can also reflect. So the same thing goes for social and spiritual and personal finance in terms of the weekly objectives that you can set and the reflections that go with it. Now, I want to show you now. Let's go to a day, which is where most features come alive. So if you look at the day, again, you will see the day now has been highlighted on the left here. And then the other thing is that you will see that you are on Monday, April 27th. So it will go to the next day every day when you wake up and you come to the app. It will actually take you to the day that's in the current day, but you can actually navigate to any day just to see what's happening. And then, of course, this is where now your daily motivational quote comes in at the top. This is what you will hear every time you'll be greeted by the app. And then under business and career now, you will see now you've got more finer details in terms of tracking the activities for the day. Finish section 2 of the Q3 section strategy document, review the Q3 performance metrics, and then reply to pending emails from the design team. And these, of course, at the end of the day, you can check them as complete or not complete. And there's more features that now are available to manage these daily activities and daily tasks. So it's either you can actually create bold to make it's more important so that you don't actually miss it. So when you click a star here on the right hand side, it will make it go bold, which tells you that it's actually more important. And then also there's a feature just next to the bolding. The feature is to add more details to the task. So you can type more details here if you want, because of the task has got more information that you wanted to add. And then the other thing as well is that you can delete that task. And then this last feature with the arrow here is very important. We're at the end of the day and you didn't finish this task and you know that tomorrow you wouldn't want to forget about it. You just click this arrow button, it actually rolls it over to the next day, so that when you wake up tomorrow, you will find this task on the new day. But very importantly, I will show you something. It will show you that it has rolled over how many times. So this is meant to actually show you that you are procrastinating, or you are rolling over tasks, or you are not finishing them successfully each day. So it will roll over as many times as you will roll over. It will have a sign that is you have rolled it over 3 times or 4 times because you are not actually completing the task. So these are the examples that we have. And then very importantly, when the day, you will also be reminded of what's the week's goals at the top here all the time. This is really trying to assist you not to feel lost, and also to make sure that you connect the dots about what was the objective for the week while I'm actually working on today's task, So it will always show you the week here, and then here you are dealing with the daily, and then of course the reflections. And by the way, it's at your best interest to do the reflections as much as you can, because I will show you a magic trick that at the end of the month, you can come to this brains features here, where there's a brain, to create AI insights, where the AI will actually give you some insights of what has happened in your month and some kind of advice what to look for in the coming month. So this is what we do also on health and recreation. On health and recreation, we did something more special, I must say. We've put quantitative data that you can actually capture, which is the running kilometers and then the steps that you've run. I know most of you are tracking your steps through your fitness watches, and then the water intake as well, and then your weight, and then reading. This is the assumption that most of the people, these are the things that they will be tracking day to day, and then you can add them. You can actually track them, because monthly it will give you a consolidated figure. And then of course you've got the planning part, like drink 3 bottles of water at the desk. So this is actually, we advise that you should spend about 30 minutes to an hour a day in the morning, at least, interacting with this app to make sure that your important goals personally, they get done actually. And then you've got social and spiritual, you've got personal finance, which actually follows the same model. And then the other feature that I wanted to show you is the timeline. The interest with the timeline. You see, I'm clicking a timeline here. Now it shows you the hierarchy of the goals. the yearly goals, new additional income 500k, new office with studio, and then it tells you the monthly goal, and then it tells you the weekly goal. So this is all meant to give you a bigger picture as you actually work on finer details day to day. You can also come quickly to go to a bigger picture, but you can click back to daily, and then it will take you back to the day that you were in. You can manage the day in that fashion. And then the monthly insight. Let me show you the typical monthly insight. Let's use the July monthly insight. So when I click on the monthly insight, it will give you the consolidation of what has happened in the month. So you must remember the monthly insight depends on how much reflections you were putting. So, I know most of the people, they don't like to do this journaling, but it's at your best interest to journal as much as you can. So these were the monthly insight for July. July has been a month pulsating with your characteristics, energy, and relentless pursuit of excellence, particularly evident in your personal sphere. We see a powerful trend of refining your unique value proposition and all those things. And also on the quantitative data, it will actually round up how much you've ran, the steps that you have done for the month, and then the water intake, and then the weight. It will take the average or the ending weight, I think, and then the pages totally that and you can, of course, listen to the monthly insights, because we have a button here for listening to the monthly insights. So the monthly insights are found in these features here. If it's green, definitely monthly insights have been generated. If it's still purple, which means you haven't actually gotten to that stage of you producing the monthly insights. So these are actually very simple, and by the way, another one you can change to night mode. Night mode actually looks like this. You can go to monthly goals, and then also can go to the smart goals for the year, and then you can go to the hierarchy. So to make sure that these you can see. So again, these are the simple features that we've included in the Prism. It's really meant for people not to feel lost, to track your goals, and to actually increase your chances of achieving your goals, because you'll be writing them down and you'll be connecting the dots. So for me, it has replaced many things. I was using Word, for example, to reflect every day. I was using a small notebook wherever I go, and this is very friendly, by the way, even on your mobile app. It doesn't have a mobile app, but it's optimized for mobile. So if you've got a tablet or a phone, it actually appears very nicely. No panels will actually be missing there, or you won't need to zoom in and out. It will actually be very friendly for you. So at the moment, as I said, it's available only by invite when you contact me, and then we just want to get more information, more feedback from the users for now. So I hope you take a chance and actually go into this. Thanks for spending time with me. Cheers.